Once again, I'd like to welcome everybody to another episode of All the Way Around. I'm your host, Big Al 360, along with my co-host,
Nick the Cat.
And today we have a special guest, celebrity chef, the best chef on planet Earth.
Maybe
opinion.
universe.
In the universe. Well, that's planet Earth.
Well, the universe.
There ain't no other planets.
There's a universe.
Okay, but he's the best. He's the best on planet Earth. We don't have.
I think he's the best in the universe.
But we don't have anybody else there's nobody else in the universe that eats food that we know about.
Well, we're going to find out in a minute from the chef.
All right. Anyway, back on point here. Our guest today is Chef Willie, celebrity Chef Willie, best chef on planet Earth, Willie.
Appreciate
Welcome
that.
to our show.
Man, I appreciate that. That's like one of the best introductions I've ever got in my life.
So tell us who Chef Willie is.
Man, I'm a kid from Flint, Michigan, born and raised. Former basketball player, played basketball overseas, graduated from University of Detroit, Mercy, and worked in the corporate world. And, God gave me a gift, and I figured out what my holy grail was.
A super gift.
Yeah, it was to use my hands and use my artistic ability and, nourish people.
So tell us some of the people you cook for.
Well, the last few years I've been cooking for Kanye. I've cooked for several people within the family as well. I've cooked for Kylie and Travis Scott and
Kim Kardashian.
Yep, of course. And I cooked for Rick Ross before, Young Thug, Muhammad Sanu, Derek Favors. My first ever celebrity I've ever cooked for was Janelle Monáe.
That's dope.
I cooked for her sister for her birthday, and
Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Man, that was dope because I walked in and I was cooking for like I said, her sister, and I didn't know for sure if she was gonna be there, and so but I was like, man, if she'd be there, that'd be awesome. And then I go in the place downtown to go cook, and it's a high rise, and then she walks in, she was like, well, welcome to my home, and I'm like, oh shit, nice to meet you. So you
had no idea who you were gonna cook for?
No, I had an idea. I was cooking for her sister, but I didn't know she was gonna be there or not. You know what I'm saying?
And
but
you didn't know it was gonna be her house.
No idea. So I was the first person to use that oven too because I had to set the oven up.
That's dope.
So I got a chance to bless that kitchen. But man, I've cooked for a lot of different people, man.
So how did you meet Kanye?
Well, it's funny, man. So K Bachi, he's a promoter and TV personality out here in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And I remember me and him had a conversation one time, like a really good conversation. It was about eating, and I think I was vegan at the time and everything. And he never tasted my food, but I guess that conversation kind of stuck with him because I just got a random call from him one day and was like, hey, are you available to go cook for a family in Tokyo for Thanksgiving? And I'm like, yeah, I had no idea who it was. And I'm like, yeah, I'm available.
So Tokyo? They flew you to Tokyo?
Flew me to Tokyo. Yep. Me and Jay, my daughter's mom, she came with me. She was my sous chef over there. So, man, I hopped on a flight to cook. No, let me back up a little bit. So the next day I ended up getting called from his assistant. And his assistant was like, hey, just reaching out to you. I'm an assistant for Kanye West. And, we've been reviewing your Instagram. It's between you and about 4 or 5 other chefs. And, I really love your vibe. So, and I think they do too. So I'm going to keep you posted and let you know. I'm like, all right, cool. This is on a Friday. So the weekend goes by. I'm like, I'm knowing this is going to happen. I know it. If I get this call, it's for me. And prior to that, I was, manifested cooking for one client and one big time client.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I wrote it down on a piece of paper, how much money I wanted to make and all that stuff. And then little did I know, 6 months later, I was going to be getting this call to go to Tokyo. And then, that Monday came around and I followed up myself. I'm like, all right, we're getting close. I'm getting, people from Kelly Price hitting me up, Muhammad Sanu, and them, they hit me up for Thanksgiving.
Wow.
And I'm telling them, I'm like, well, I'm booked. Because I didn't get booked yet, but I knew I was going to get booked. So I was keeping that date open. And then the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. No, I'm sorry, that Tuesday before Thanksgiving. No, it was the Wednesday. I'm sorry. It was the Wednesday before Thanksgiving that they wanted me to fly out. So I flew out that morning. But, you know, it was like a 12 to 13-hour flight.
Yeah, it's a long flight.
So I lost half a day. Okay. And then arrived in Tokyo. It was like 4:30 in the afternoon, man. And the first text I get when we get off the plane, I'm able to get some Wi-Fi, was KW wants to know what time you'll have dinner ready.
KW.
Yeah, and I'm like,
yay.
8 o'clock. So I made it happen, man, and I got dinner done by 7:50.
Now, what exactly?
You had to go collect the food?
Yeah, man, it was crazy. So we walked into, okay, let me give you the time frames. This is how crazy this is, right? So we get off the plane, it's 4:30. Get the bags, get to the black car.
4:30 p.m.
4:30 p.m. Dinner has to be done by 8 because this is what I said I was going to do. All right, so get in the black car. It's about 45-minute drive. We get to the hotel. It's 5:15, right? We're at the Aman in Tokyo, one of the nicest hotels over in Tokyo. So they want to give us, you know, drinks and snacks and all that. And all I can think about is like, I got to get upstairs because I need to, you know, freshen up and get myself together, get my chef coat on and get over here to get this done. And I had packed some seasonings and all that and some macaroni noodles because I was like, I don't know if they're going to have macaroni noodles over here. So all I got to do is find the cheese. So then at about 5:30, we finally get up to the room, take about 15 minutes to freshen up and get my chef coat on and pack up my seasonings and stuff like that. 5:45 hits, go downstairs, black car. I meet his cousin, Ricky, down there. Ricky is his first cousin, been working with him for years, gotcha. You know, really close with Ye. And he was like, hey, nice to meet you. He started telling us a little bit about the food. He was like, yeah, you know, you ain't got to go too crazy, you know, just some really good flavorful food, you know, he ain't too picky, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, cool. I already had in mind what I want to do. I want to make sure I did some fried chicken, some mac and cheese, and some yams, right? So we get to the market where the driver took us.
Yeah, tell us about the experience of shopping in Japan.
Man, it was crazy. So walked in, you see Burberry over here, you see Gucci over there, you see Dolce & Gabbana right here, and I'm like, what? Where are we? You know, it's all of these designer, stores. He was like, no, the market is downstairs. So we go downstairs, and I look, and it's like a huge market. It's full of food, of stuff that I'd never seen in my life. Never seen. Of course, nothing is in English, and I'm like, oh shit.
Vegetables, the fruit, everything's different.
This is about to be crazy. So me, Ricky, and Jay, we just split up, and we just started, trying to source stuff that looked familiar to us, right? So we find some salmon. It was cut up all crazy, but I'm like, yeah, let's grab that. That looks legit. I saw some wings, and it was just the flat part. I was like, let me just grab the flats. And then some more veggies, and I ended up finding some sweet potatoes.
Okay.
And so, but I couldn't find cheese. It was driving me crazy. I'm like, I gotta make this mac and cheese. So we ended up leaving and ended up finding like a corner store, right? It was kind of like a bodega
in Japan.
Right? So we go in there, man, they got smoked Gouda cheese and Gruyere cheese. And they got heavy cream in there.
Wow.
It threw me off. I'm like, okay, this is mint. Let me grab that. I just started grabbing it. And then we get to the kitchen about 6:30. We got to take our shoes off over there. It's traditional. And a lot of places over there, you got to take your shoes off. So take our shoes off. We walk in, and I see the kitchen. I see some of the workers. They just help us unload, and they go stand in the back and just watch us, work. So we get started, man, and get to cooking, and I ended up getting the food done by 7:50.
Yeah.
7:50.
Now, when you was in the store over there, they think you was like a celebrity already?
You know what? I can't even. I don't
by
even
your
know.
height?
You know what's funny, man? Over in Japan, they really didn't bother. They don't really bother you.
No, real respectful.
Yeah, they look and they just keep it going. It wasn't like I wasn't just a big I don't know what you want to call it, a spectacle.
I didn't know if they just automatically assumed you was like a basketball player or. How tall are you, bro?
I'm 6'8".
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 6'8". Right. I'm one of the tallest chefs around. So, but yeah, you walked in at 8 o'clock on the dot. Him, Kim, a couple of nannies, and a couple of the kids, and they were ready to eat. You could tell they were ready to eat, man. And then we just dapped each other up like we've been knowing each other forever.
That's dope.
Yep. So.
Did you know Kim was going to be there? You just thought it was going to be Kanye?
I thought it was going to be about 20 people. So I knew she was going to be there. I knew that, you know, all the kids were going to be there, but it was a little late. So the kids were actually tired. So they ended up coming. Ricky didn't even end up coming because the son got sick. But yeah, man, it was just like him, Kim, his cousin Kim, I think one of the nannies, Courtney was there. Courtney and her son was there. So yeah, it was just a small group of people, and we ended up being able.
So dope.
We ended up getting a flick too at the end because I'm like, I don't know
you need
if I'm
that.
like we in Tokyo because
Yeah.
Ye and Kim, like we got to take this picture. So we took the picture, man, and it was dope. And
That's what's up.
the crazy thing is though, man, I got to tell y'all a little story about the food and how it was a nervous wreck. So the way the stove was set up, it was a gas stove, but it had a double burner. Right, double rings, and I just put this pot on there. I didn't pay attention to it having both rings. I just filled it with oil and just got it going. So
I got the double rings. That outside ring will burn stuff, bro. Like, it's super
Fast.
It's crazy. So I ended up turning it on, and I started frying the chicken. And the chicken was coming out beautiful, like so quick. And I'm like, what is going on? So I ended up taking it out and making sure I didn't burn it. But then I didn't figure it out until I started cooking the salmon that I was like, oh shit, this is why it's doing that, right? Because I'm just trying to get stuff done. So I ended up throwing the chicken in this warmer. They told me they had an oven, but it was no oven. They just had a warmer that went up to about 300 degrees. So I ended up putting the chicken in there and just letting it sit. And then by the time it got closer for them to come, I ended up frying some more chicken once I figured it out, right? I just replaced the grease, put some more grease in there. And so but I ended up still giving them some of that chicken. Now the chicken was done, you know, per temp 165, right?
Okay.
But it still had a little bit of redness in it, which can happen. You know what I'm saying? And so when I saw them eating the chicken, Ye was tearing it up. Like,
Does he like a lot of seasoning on his chicken?
I mean, he loves flavor. You know what I'm saying?
He wants the flavor.
he wants flavor. So yeah, man, I looked and I was like, man, but I saw some of Kim's plate and I saw, you know, a couple of I saw a couple other plates, and the chicken was kind of like picked over. You know what I'm saying? It was eaten, but it was like kind of picked over, and I saw a little bit of red, and I said, oh shit. I said, all right, this chicken doesn't look like it's all the way done, but I know it was done, right? So he got up, he went to the bathroom, and I said, hey man, how's the food?
Yeah.
He was like, with some food in his mouth, he said, the food is good, the flavor is there. Said the chicken could have been cooked a little bit more, but the flavor is there. And I'm like, bet. You know what I'm saying? That made me feel a little good, right? So, and I had all this food left over too, man. Like I cooked for 20 people.
Yeah.
And it was only like 8 people showed up. So after that, man, we flicked up. They left, and then I went back to the hotel. And then my old manager, she called me. She was like, so how'd you think it went? And I was like, man, I feel like the chicken was undercooked a little bit. She was like, well, I got some feedback. She was like, well, Kanye loves your food.
Dope.
I was like, yes. And I was able to have a good sleep that night. And then
and you've been cooking for him ever since.
Man, I've been cooking for him ever since, bro.
Now, what type of music do you like to cook to when you're cooking?
Man, well, you know, the whole time every time I cook for him, I always listen to his music.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I take that frequency from the music that he's created, you know what I'm saying? That genius frequency. And I, you know, put that into the food, and you know, it's just a big energy exchange. It's a whole deep conversation on that. But yeah, I do that. Sometimes I listen to Mozart, you know, Miles Davis, you know what I'm saying? Some classic.
It's important in creating anything.
Yeah. Classic R&B is all love in R&B. That 90s R&B music is all love in that. So whatever I listen to, man, I just like to put a lot of love in it, you know. When I cook for Travis Scott, though, I listen to, you know, a lot of his music, and I put that rock star shit in.
So how important are the frequencies to you?
Man, it's
cooking or in anything in life?
It's everything. Everything. Because everything is a frequency. You know, everything is a vibration. So we may see something and look at it and see that it's not moving, but it is moving. It's a vibration. It's a frequency. So it is important when you're cooking, you have a a positive attitude and just full of love when you're putting it into the food.
And it goes into the food.
Yeah.
What's your favorite dish to cook?
My favorite dish to cook, I would say, man, anything Creole. you know, because that's my background. My dad is from New Orleans. I'm, you know, not from New Orleans, but that's where my family lineage is from. So anything Creole, man. I love crawfish. I love crawfish, man. I do this crazy crawfish etouffee.
You know, we had it
firsthand. We got to experience it last night.
Yeah. And tacos, man. I'm a big taco fan. I can make taco 100 different ways, man. So
yeah,
I
wait.
love tacos.
He made
Hold
us,
on. He made us tacos in L.A.
In L.A., he made us mushroom tacos.
The jerk mushroom tacos.
Jerk mushroom tacos. Oh my God.
It's definitely experience.
So, Will, I gotta ask you this: what is your top 5 dead or alive?
Top 5 dead or alive.
Doesn't have to be hip hop.
Okay. All right. Top 5 dead or alive artists.
Do you listen to these or do you cook with these?
I listen to them and I do cook with them, but I definitely listen to them.
Top 5 dead or alive. Doesn't have to be hip hop.
Tupac, number 1. You know, I grew up big Tupac fan. Tupac raised me, along with my parents. But Tupac, I would say Prince, big Prince fan. Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, and I got to give it to R. Kelly.
Dope.
R. Kelly, he makes good music. What you gonna do?
Dope list.
Everything that got to do with his personal life, I don't know.
That's
His
none of my
definitely
business.
questionable, but his music is genius. He's a mastermind.
Now, if how can I say this? Do all your you also cook a vegan selection because we're pescatarians and you cook for us and it's delicious.
Thank you.
Do most of your clients eat meat, or do you do you specialize in one thing or you just cook?
Man,
anything?
I specialize in food. Yeah, I specialize in food. So whatever the client needs, you know, I can provide. I've done so many different diets, fad diets, whatever myself. So I have the experience, and I just know, like, God just blessed me with a great palate, you know. So, and I understand food. So, whatever the client needs. I don't have a lot of clients right now that necessarily are vegetarian or vegan or anything like that, but I'm well versed in that arena because, you know, I've definitely dabbled into that arena myself.
You cook for us; it was incredible.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah. You know, I have plenty of conversations with Gary. You know what I'm saying, and that's how we actually met.
Dr. Savvy's assistant.
But since we're talking about vegan, you know, there's a big hype about you know, Impossible Burgers, and Beyond Burgers, and sausages and chicken, and
that stuff is not right. That stuff
now
is
tell
not
us
right.
why it's not good.
Well, it's GMO, genetically modified.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We can end it right there if we wanted to. You know what I'm
Tofu,
saying?
soy, those type products.
Heavily soy is not good for you. You know, all that soy, it causes cancer. It raises the estrogen in men. It's just, you know, it's not good.
And
like
also
I said,
damages your thyroid,
all of that,
all the hormones in your body.
Our bodies are not meant to digest that stuff. You know, God made us plenty of resources on this earth for us to be able to ingest in order for us to be able to heal or prevent diseases. You know what I'm saying? But we put this fake food in our bodies.
Yeah.
And then we cause this dis-ease, you know, and then you compound that with stress, you know, and a lot of that is attributed to what you're putting in your body. You don't feel good. How did you feel after you ate that crawfish etouffee last night?
Man, you put me in the pocket, brother.
Yeah, like
Like,
It was energy.
Yeah, energy.
I had the
energy change.
You hooked me up
everything.
and I just hit the couch.
You know,
like,
just
yeah,
felt
okay,
good.
I'm good.
All I kept hearing them saying, man, I feel so good. I feel great.
Man, I
better.
felt amazing.
You know what I'm saying? Because I put you in my frequency.
Yes, super
And we were
vibe.
listening to
super
classical
food.
music,
Good music.
Beethoven, Chopin.
No, we were listening to Mozart.
Mozart.
Yeah.
It was classical.
Yeah.
Nice vibe. Set the
That was
mood
real
right.
good.
Yeah, relaxed me, and the food was awesome. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was definitely good energy.
Thank you.
Now they also talk about how protein you don't actually have to have from animals.
No, I mean, it's protein in vegetables, it's protein in beans. I mean, you don't necessarily have to get it from animals, and I don't see anything wrong with getting it from animals as well. Yeah. You just got to really pay attention to your body and listen to what your body needs. You know, I've talked to people, and this happened to me too. I went vegan for about 6 months last year.
How'd you feel?
You know, honestly, man, I felt like I didn't feel great. Like I didn't feel like I had a lot of energy, and I felt like I was supplementing myself with the carbohydrates in order to feel satisfied. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a big foodie too, and I love to be satisfied when it comes to food. And so it just didn't feel fulfilling, you know. And I felt, you know, it was times where I felt lethargic. I didn't have much energy and things like that. But I understood what the sugar in the carbs was doing. You know what I'm saying? My body was burning the sugar versus burning the fat, you know, and getting energy from the sugar versus getting energy from the fat. You know what I'm saying? So once I started I was just like, you know what, I just was craving red meat, and I ended up eating some red meat, and man, I just felt like a lion. Yeah. Like I just felt really good. It just gave me a lot of energy, man. And, you know, and like I said, you just got to listen to your body and what feels good for you, you know, what feels right for you. And I don't eat meat every single day. And sometimes where I might just like, you know, I'm going to just eat vegan a day, or I'm going to just fast. And I intermittent fast every single day as well.
Like, what's the intermittent fasting about? Explain that.
So, like today, I haven't ate anything at all. I haven't drank any water. I haven't done anything. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, once you start to eat the food, your body starts to work, and you have to start, you know, digesting the food. And so, intermittent fasting is usually you just eat between the hours of 12 and 7 or 12 and 8, you know, and you just pick a certain time period to where you want to just digest food, and then after that, you don't eat again until the next day. And so, yeah, man, I do that often, and I feel amazing. I feel like, you know, my brain is operating at a higher level when I'm not, you know, focused on eating food. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's really good to fast, and I do it all the time.
Have you found that your celebrity clientele all eats a certain way?
Yep. I'm dealing with a client right now from the Chargers, and you know, obviously, you know, your NFL player, they're pretty active, you know what I'm saying? And so he just is, you know, make sure I have a protein, a carb, and a green veggie. You know what I'm saying? And that's a requirement with every single meal. Is making sure that I get that green veggie in there. So but he's pretty active, you know what I mean? So that's a great combination for him. You know, and that's what works for him.
Now, you personally, do you eat according to your blood type?
Me personally, for the most part, yeah, yeah. For the most part, I try to eat for my blood type. I try to stay away from things that are not really good for me. And sometimes when I eat those things, I immediately feel a certain way, and I'm like, yeah, I need to stay away from that. So yeah, I definitely do that. And a lot of times I do. I kind of do like the ketogenic diet as well. That's what Ye is really big on is the keto diet.
What is the keto diet?
It's really, you know, very, very, very low carbs. I think the net carb you can have per day is like 20 grams or something like that. But it's just high in protein and leafy vegetables and high in fat. I try not to do too much fat, although I do, you know, do butters. I may do vegan butter from time to time as well too. But it's really just cutting out your carbs.
Okay, now what's the best leafy vegetable? Like yesterday, you made us some.
I would say
collard greens.
Oh my God! Yesterday he made.
It's amazing.
Chef Willie's collard greens. Yeah, he's fed it to us a couple times so far.
The second time was way better though.
Yeah, but
it was on a whole other level.
They're both good, but last night was amazing.
Your greens are on point, brother.
Yeah, I would say collards are the best. You know, I know a lot of people are big on kale, but kale is actually a hybrid of collards.
Okay.
You know, so why not go straight to the source and get it, you know, from collards, and not the overcooked collards, not like your Thanksgiving collards where you cook for hours and with turkey meat and all that. I'm talking about just taking some collards, chopping them up really thin slice, cooking them for about 7 or 8 minutes, and sauteing them with some onions.
Just trying to get a little brightness to them.
Yeah, just and so it still has a little crunch to it. Yeah, and so you still getting that food, that lively food, man, and. Yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah, because a lot of times people sit there and let it cook all night and simmer and all that.
Overcook it.
Yeah, they're overcooking it.
Yep, and I use avocado oil. I use avocado oil for pretty much everything that I cook. You know what I'm saying? So, That's a really, if you're gonna use oil, I would definitely recommend using avocado oil.
Now, what's an alkaline diet?
Alkaline diet is more just, eating foods that are alive, eating more raw foods. It consists of more of a raw food diet, just electric foods because we are electric beings.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's really good for us. So if you are eating meat like myself, like I said, I eat meat, but I also eat electric foods as well to give me that electricity that I need.
You gave us some electric yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, we spoke about your top 5. So, Prince or Michael Jackson?
So,
You said you like Prince and Michael. Pick one.
What's so crazy is that, man, I know we were having this conversation, and I was watching some Michael Jackson stuff last night.
Yeah, see that?
It's a hard decision when
I'm
you
like, man, because I grew up more so a Michael Jackson fan. But then when I got older, and after I went to a Prince concert, I appreciated Prince more as a musician.
Now, you didn't look him in the eyes, did you?
No, man. Actually, it was crazy. We were eye level at the concert. You know what I'm saying? The way they had it set up at the Palace.
Yeah.
But man, I became a huge Prince fan after I went and saw him in concert. Anytime I go see somebody in concert, it's like it's a different experience.
You saw Prince?
Yeah, I saw him in 2004. Okay. Yeah, this was the same year I went to Usher's concert in 2004, and Usher opened up with Ye. That was my first time seeing Ye in concert as well.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah.
Big year Tupac.
So okay, let me answer the other question. I'm gonna still go with Prince though.
You're still gonna go
All
with
right,
Prince?
let's go.
Where I'm at in life right now,
Okay.
I gotta go with Prince. But Michael Jackson is definitely 1A.
All right. Big year Pop.
Pop.
All day.
That's all day. Like I said, I grew up a big Pac fan. I fell in love with the West Coast because of Pac. I had never even been to California before, and I just fell in love with it. And yeah, man, Pac you think about it, man, he was a son of Black Panthers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's powerful.
That was so powerful, that energy that was poured into him and what he was destined to be.
We ask everybody these questions, and you'd be surprised some of the answers we get.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to go with Pac hands down, man.
Okay. Where is your favorite place on planet Earth? If you could go anywhere.
Anywhere with my daughter.
Take your daughter. You want to take your daughter?
Yeah. Well, anywhere with my daughter.
That's good. By the way, his daughter is a spitting image of him. Like
I couldn't deny her if I tried.
And she cooks.
She cooks.
Yeah, she can cook.
Yeah.
She puts her on a little stool and she's
2 years old.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, man. That little girl is smart, man. But like I said, you're a product of what you are. You know what I'm saying? So
anywhere you could go. Your favorite place on planet Earth?
So my favorite place that I've been so far is DR, Dominican Republic.
Why the Dominican Republic?
Man, because it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful out there. The water is just so beautiful. The scenery, it's beautiful people out there. When I was out there, they thought I was Dominican. You know what I'm saying? Because I had my short haircut at the time. You know what I mean? Curly hair. So. But yeah, it's just a beautiful place, and it's a third world country. And you get a chance to see how people live, out there. And I lived amongst them for a good month and a half. And man, it's so beautiful just to see how people live and how they appreciate life.
So are you going to get a place out there?
Oh, eventually, yeah, for sure. Definitely.
You going to open up a restaurant out there?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Chef Willie has the most awesome residence. The LA compound is incredible. The Atlanta compound is incredible.
So when we come to the DR, you're gonna see what we're working with.
Yeah. So that's the next place. That's the next one coming.
Yeah, man.
Now, did you experience any different foods while you were down in Dominican?
Dominican food is just really flavored. They, of course, do a lot of rice. The pollo. You know what I'm saying? So. It's really good, really good, flavorful food. That's what I remember. It's been a while since I've been there, but yeah, the food is just really flavorful out there. And
they have a lot of.
And what I do remember is just like going up, just walking down the street and just going up to like a little stand and just seeing them cutting shit just right there, and I'm just taking it and eating it. It was so delicious.
Dope experience.
Yeah.
There's a lot of African influence there on the island also.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so give us some Chef Willie memories. What are your fondest memories? Like, you've had a lot of experiences.
Man.
Like we talk for hours, and well, he talks because once he feeds us, we stop talking. But you always share these incredible experiences. To share some with us. Give us some.
Man, let me think, man. I got so many different experiences, man.
What's your most memorable experience?
Besides the Tokyo experience, I would say my time spent in Wyoming.
How was that? And where was you?
I was in Cody.
Cody for who?
I was in Cody for Ye.
Yeah.
And
so you were at Ye's compound.
Yeah, I was in the compound, man, and I would say it was one of the most beautiful experiences. I mean, it couldn't happen at a more perfect time as well. Mm-hmm. It was right when before and after the pandemic. I was able to experience, the life out there. You see the beautiful mountains, the scenery, man. It looked like a screensaver. Looked like your screensaver on your computer.
So that's a little bit off the grid, then.
Yeah, it was definitely off the grid, and man, it was crazy because it was during a time where Black Lives Matter, movement started like really, really big because of the George Floyd thing, and Atlanta was like on fire at the time, and I was in Wyoming, and me and my chefs, we were out there, and it was just like it was nothing that we can do.
You were isolated,
but we were isolated, man, and it gave us a chance to really just be in a moment of clarity and be in a moment of focus. And I promise you, it really helped me take my skill level and my flavors to a whole nother level, because I'm really focusing on every single day, every single meal. Every single day, every single meal had to be perfect, in my opinion.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm cooking for one of the biggest influencers on the planet, and to get his feedback was so important to me. And I wanted to make sure every meal is good. That's so much pressure. I don't know if I'm putting it on myself or...
What album was he working on?
He was working on Donda. And trust me, that song Off the Grid means so much to me, because we were literally off the grid.
Now, in that time, in that space, did you meditate?
You know what, man? I wasn't even really big into meditating yet. I didn't really get big into meditating until this year. I felt like life just kind of forced me to slow down and start meditating more. I felt like, because I was also working 12, 13-hour days, out there. So once I got finished, man, I'm just like trying to just unwind, and I'm also thinking about what I'm gonna cook.
So
tomorrow.
You cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then when we decided to do keto, we did the intermittent fasting with that. So we still had to provide, breakfast to some of the ranch hands out there. But then we started just doing lunch and dinner. But I mean, it was long days, man. Long days, long nights.
You had a nice crew with you?
Yeah. Jay, of course, she was with me. I had one of my Jamaican chefs, Chef Reese. He was out there with me, and then Chef X, she was out there with me as well. Right. So yeah, man, we did our thing. And he loves Caribbean food. And Chef Reese,
did you get to
from Jamaica?
Observe? Like, were you in the studio when he was working on the song?
Yes, I was definitely. Okay. There was times where I was in the studio, and I was able to see, some of the process be done, especially when we were at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Being able to go in there and seeing that process, man. And trust me, man, it just warps your mind into a whole nother level, because you look at him and you look at him so like dope, catch a beat, and like he's just moving. And sometimes you looking at him, it's like, man, he's not even on beat. But he's on a whatever
somewhere else.
Yeah, his whatever vibration he's on, it's like he's on it, and it's like to watch it is incredible.
That's
because he's music. He really is. He's music.
So, is there anybody else that came through there? Any surprise appearances?
Man, I remember meeting Dame Dash. That was so dope, because like
he's a boss.
We were. He came in there with his crew, and he was showing us on, because Ye had like this big screen TV in one of the sheds, and we were watching him and his music, and what he was doing, what he had going on as well, which is dope. And then I got a chance to just stand there next to him and Ye, just have a conversation about so much shit. And it was like the best hour ever, just to sit up there and I was literally a fly on the wall watching them have a conversation about so many different things. Like, it was so dope, man. So, yeah, shout out to Dame Dash, and I'd love to meet him one day because I know he's a mastermind and a genius. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I met Dame a couple times. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's intense.
Yeah.
It's definitely the Dame Dash show when Dame Dash is around.
I believe it. I believe it. I love it.
Shut down. You know what I mean?
I love it, man. I love it because I'm that type of person. Like I said, I've absorbed so much energy and information from just being around him and being around, some other people that I've cooked for, man. And it's definitely an intense energy at that level.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Now you said you're from Flint.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what's the water like in Flint?
Man.
I just had to ask.
Were you there when the whole thing happened?
I wasn't there, no, but my parents have been there. My sister's there.
Your parents are still there?
Yeah, they're still there.
Oh, man.
And it's sad, man. It's sad to see the genocide that's going on with our city, how it's affected the kids and the families out there, man. And it was like, obviously Flint was just like that test city for what could happen anywhere.
So what was actually going on in the water? Was it lead or what was it that
man,
they
it
found?
was lead. It was all type of just shit, man, because, they switched off the power from the lake from Port Huron.
Okay.
From a flip of a button.
It went from like a glacial water.
Yeah, it went from the best waters, some of the best waters on the planet to the Flint River, where, I grew up knowing, how many people had been killed and dumped in that river, and they found sewage and cars and all type of shit, in there. And that's where the water source started to come from.
So a lot of the kids are damaged.
A lot of the people.
Everybody
Everybody
who drunk it, they got high levels of lead.
Yeah,
and
extremely high levels, man. And it's just sad to see, that we can go all across the world and give billions and billions of dollars to all these places, man. But then, in our own backyard, and this is supposed to be the United States of America, and this is what can happen, man.
They fixed the water for General Motors, though.
Yeah, they definitely fixed it for them.
General Motors said the water is corroding
the
vehicles on the assembly line, and they flipped one switch and turned General Motors water back on, but they wouldn't do it for the public.
For the people.
That doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. Like I say, only sense it makes is genocide.
And we know Chef Willie's also a conspiracy theorist because we've had
we had some good conversations.
Super conversations. So, space aliens. You believe in space aliens?
Man, I believe we aliens. Like we in the middle of space.
Yeah.
Think about it. So,
but
there's definitely
everything,
life outside of just this flat Earth we live on, for sure. Like, it's definitely life outside.
Now you said it's flat.
Yeah, for sure.
So
you think the Earth is flat?
We got Give an example. Let's talk about this.
So the Earth is flat.
So if we all hopped in a helicopter
right now, let's get in.
Hopped in a helicopter. We sit in a helicopter and we go straight up in the air and we just hover over the Earth for
and they said the Earth's
12
spinning.
hours. And the Earth is spinning at how fast right now?
One rotation every 24 hours.
I know it's fast.
So if we get in this helicopter and we stay in one spot for 12 hours, should we be in the same spot when we go down? Or should we be in a different spot? Should we be over in maybe China or something like that? If the Earth was spinning,
I mean, that you got a point. Yeah, I don't know how to answer that. Like,
yeah, makes sense.
Or if I'm flying, or I fly to Atlanta.
Doesn't the atmosphere move as well as the Earth? Like, wouldn't that? Like, if you're up in the atmosphere,
if we just if we're just spinning in space and just orbiting and everything is just like that, man, I got some tea in China.
Yeah,
I need to sell y'all.
Yeah,
but I fly from Atlanta to LA back and forth all the time, and it's a consistent 3.5 to 4 hour flight, right?
Doesn't the jet stream
coming back? It's so for us it's 6 hours from Philly to LA, but 5 hours coming back because we get the jet stream.
I just know that it should be a big discrepancy between hours if one way I'm going against the grain and one way I'm coming with it.
It should be faster one way.
You know what I'm saying? So
it is faster. It
is faster
coming
right?
back.
I mean,
back,
I feel like it should be an extreme difference in the amount of time. As fast as the Earth is moving, I think it's like, let's look it up real quick. It's like 96,000 miles per hour, something like that. I can't remember. Or 9,000 miles per hour or something. Don't let me get to quoting because I'm not sure. I really have to look it up real quick.
The facts will.
No, that's bothering me. Let's look it up.
The facts will pop up on the screen. We'll put the facts on the screen.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna get it right here so we can say it too. How fast is the Earth
rotating?
Spinning. 1,670 kilometers per hour.
So how many miles an hour is that?
Let me see. 1,000 miles per hour.
Wow.
1,000.
So the Earth moves 1,000 miles per hour. Okay.
And how fast do you move, Big Al?
Moving fast.
How fast do
Big
you
Al
move, Big Al?
in slow mo. I move in slow speed.
So the Earth is flat for you.
For me, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I see, you know what I'm saying, and eyes don't lie, you know what I'm saying, they're not deceiving me. So
Now, do you think the Earth is hollow?
no, I believe definitely there's life underneath this land of soil that we live in. I mean, you just think about just what we live on already. It's already it's like some of these buildings, I mean, there were buildings up under that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's buildings on top of buildings already, you know. So it is definitely life up under here for sure.
So
We
now
have these conversations over dinner.
Tupac,
We
dead or
already said
alive?
that.
We already said dead or is he dead or
Tupac and
alive?
Biggie.
Oh, do I believe is
Is he dead or is he alive?
I mean, I believe he's alive. That's what my spirit been telling me since '96.
Your spirit told you that? Now you believe in the paranormal.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So you believe Tupac's alive?
I do.
Okay, I believe
Elvis, Prince.
Yeah.
you believe all of them's alive.
I believe all of them, bro. Trust me, man. I mean, you think about it, you know, these people are some of the most, you know, famous people to walk the planet. And, you know, when you die early, you know, you're immortalized. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So wherever they are, man, I send them my love. You know what I mean?
Much love. Much love.
You did that.
Tupac, if you're out there, come do a record with me, please.
You know what's crazy? I went to the Tupac memorial out in L.A. And you know what type of restaurant he wanted to open? He wanted to open up a restaurant. He wanted to open up a Creole restaurant.
Pac did?
Yes. Yeah, he wanted to open up a Creole restaurant. He had the whole menu set out and everything.
Wow,
It was
that's
dope. I
tough.
took pictures of it. I have to find it and show it to you.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Any plans in the future for Chef Willie? I'm surprised. Why we need a restaurant? We need a Chef Willie
Don't
restaurant.
give out all your secrets yet.
But I mean, can we look forward to that?
You could definitely look forward to a restaurant in the future, in the near future. 'Cause cookbook for sure, definitely.
Okay.
Yep, definitely. I'm actually working on it right now.
Well, only because we know what's coming. Is it a restaurant or is it a chain of restaurants? See, we already know this.
We got a
but-
little inside.
Yeah, man. It's got to be a chain. It's got to be.
Okay.
I can't be in just one place. you know.
Locations.
Man, it's got to be in Atlanta, L.A., Miami. I got to do one in Flint for sure. Detroit.
The universe.
You know, definitely. I for sure. London. You know, I spent some time over there as well.
How'd you like London?
London was beautiful, man. Only thing about it's gray every single day. It was so cloudy every
Now,
single day.
what was the cuisine over there? What was their food like?
You know what, man? I don't even want to talk about it. I went over there. I was going through my vegan mode.
What they got? Fish
man.
and chips?
Man, I couldn't even really tell you because I was vegan over there and I was being so disciplined with myself. And I didn't get a chance to really taste the food over there, man. But I went over there to cook a soul food. I did a soul food event. We sold 50 tickets. That's all I wanted to do was a small venue. I can't remember the name of it, but we sold 50 tickets, and Ended up having, man, it was a beautiful turnout. And I cooked like fried chicken, fried fish, you know, mac and cheese, collard greens, because they don't have that over there. You know, they lack it's a lot of us over there, but they lack with the soul food. And man, when I tell you, I got some of the best reactions I've ever seen. It was amazing. Yeah. And that was back in like 2000, I want to say 16, 17, you know, so I wasn't even really going yet like I am now. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a whole different bag now. Is there anybody you want to
cook for? Anybody you want to cook for that you haven't cooked for yet?
Man, I love to cook for Rihanna.
That's dope.
For sure. Yeah. I'm really cool.
That's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
I'm really
Speaking.
cool. I'm really cool. I'm really cool with Papa Fenty, man. So, you know, I ain't putting no pressure on you, Pops, but hey, we gotta make this happen.
Let's get it.
Anybody else you want to cook for?
I love to cook for maybe Stevie Wonder. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
That would I think the cooking for Stevie Wonder would be so amazing just off the simple fact that, you know, his other senses are heightened on a whole nother level.
That would really tell the difference.
I would love
see how he relates to it.
Man,
yeah.
I would love for his palate to be able to taste my food. You know what I'm saying? Also for him to feel my energy around him as well. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I seen him walking out. I was in LA walking down the street, and I saw him walk out of a Dave Chappelle, you know, show, and he got in his car, his Tesla, and I swear he was looking dead at me.
Oh, see that? No, we're on the conspiracy.
I swear.
Now he didn't drive though, did he?
No, he was in the back. It was a Tesla too, so
well, you know they drive themselves. Yeah, they drive themselves.
No, but he had people in the car with him.
Oh, okay.
But I promise you, man, I was standing there and he was looking dead at me.
Wow,
dead at me, yo, it's crazy.
I had a Stevie story. I was at a music, what do you call it? It was like a music convention. It was like a gear show, and I was in a rolling keyboard booth, and I'm testing out the sounds on this keyboard, and someone came behind me and started testing out one of the keyboards, and they kept bumping into me. I'm like, what the hell? After like the fifth time, I spun around, and it was Stevie, you know, because he rock, and I'm standing right there, and I'm like, oh my God.
You messed up for that.
So his handler's like, I'm like, oh no, it's 100% cool. Like, and I just stood there kind of in awe and just kind of watched him mess around for a minute. And I thought, wow,
that is dope.
Stevie Wonder.
That is so dope, man. That's a great experience right there.
So one thing that Chef Willie does do is it's more than just food. Like, it's an experience. When you fed us, you know what I mean? It's the music. It's the conversation. It's
the
like
family.
You said, the vibrations.
He had the family, everybody, the dog.
Your new best friend.
Everybody makes you feel at home. They just come and park with you. Kids come sit beside you, say hi.
Or get on a FaceTime with your daughter.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's an incredible experience. If you ever get the chance to eat with Chef Willie, please do so. You won't regret it. So what do you like to eat? When you come home and you're in that, you just want to sit in front of the TV, what's your favorite food to consume?
Man, so this is the thing about me and how I eat. So I love tacos, you know. My mom, I grew up on tacos. My mom, to me, she makes the best tacos. So that's
I never ate mom's tacos, but your tacos, you're saying they're the best tacos because you create some, and when you make tacos, you put different ingredients in. So it's like, I never thought about eating this in a taco. But
oh yeah, man. Like I made some beet tacos one day. It was crazy. But man, I'm just a creator, right? I'm an artist. And whatever comes to me that day, like I'm just literally can be sitting there and I can be like, man, or I might see something that gives me some inspiration. Or I want to try that, or I want to try to recreate that, or and put my little twist on it, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times it just comes to me, man, and I just might have a taste, and that's how I come up with stuff for clients as well. It's based off of my palate
Exactly.
and what will be good for me, not necessarily will it be good for them. And I might be cooking for somebody and not figure out what I'm going to cook for them until I actually go to the grocery store.
And you use a lot of color.
Yeah, I
in your
do. I
food.
love using because like, that's the artist in me. And
Remember, he told us it's plate art.
Yeah.
You put it together on the plate.
yeah,
art.
it's all art, man. And so it just comes to me. Sometimes I like going to grocery stores. I like going to farmers markets. You know what I mean? So I get inspiration by just what I see sometimes. And then like another way is just what I feel and what just kind of comes to me. But I just love to create, and if it's something I never cooked before, I'll try it.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Now, do you write at all?
Not really. I'm trying to do more of that, but I really don't. I put a lot of just notes in my phone. I guess technology is kind of taking that away from me. But yeah, no, a lot of stuff I have is just in my head too.
Okay. Is there anything that Chef Willie can't cook? Or is there any cuisine that you haven't delved into yet that you know that
Yeah, it's plenty of different, cuisines. I haven't done sushi yet.
That was one of my questions I was going to ask.
Yeah, and it's funny because I've been talking with a friend of mine, and we've been talking about opening up a sushi restaurant one day. And the sushi restaurant, I would put a spin on it though. I would put my spin on it, and I don't even want to give the secret. I'll tell y'all afterward, but like it would be a crazy sushi.
Now, do you eat sushi?
I do. I mess with sushi, yeah, for sure. Not necessarily all of raw sushi, but tempura meat.
Okay.
What's the most expensive meal you've ever cooked?
He started laughing.
Okay, so
Please don't say it was for us, because then I'll feel bad.
Oh my goodness!
So you mean the most expensive as far as like the ingredients that I've cooked, or how much I've charged?
Oh, not what you charged.
Okay, I was gonna say y'all don't even want to know about that one.
Meal that you've cooked, ingredient wise.
Let me see. Shit, really anything seafood nowadays, because seafood is high. You know what, man? Okay, so let me tell you like this. So, cooking for Ye has been one of the most beautiful, spoiled experiences, right? Because when we were in Wyoming, I was given a gold card.
To go grocery shopping.
And you get the best of everything.
Bro, like, I don't have a budget. So it's hard for it's hard for me to look at anything as expensive, because I know the value in what I'm getting is worth every penny of it. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't.
What was the grocery bill? What was Ye's grocery bill?
Man, I've had some crazy. I remember being in Cabo with Travis, and I mean, some of those grocery bills for like a few days might have been like $1,500. Okay. Because we're feeding, a lot of people. Yeah. It was like 20 people, and I wanted to make sure we had all the ingredients that we needed to make the food, to make the drinks, to get the snacks.
Oh, so you do the drinks too?
Yeah, we do. I do everything. The desserts, like we make sure we got everything covered. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, fresh smoothies, alcoholic drinks, and that was alcohol on those bills sometimes too. You know what I'm saying? And so it was just. Sometimes that it could definitely tally up and add up after a while, and yeah, man, some of them bills were pretty high.
So I know
drinks. Yeah, he did give us a drink. Didn't he? In LA, you had us drinking the sour side.
Some
sour side. Yeah.
That was good too.
Yep. I got that from the farmer's market out there in LA. Yep.
Now I have a question about a certain fungus, mushrooms. But first, I want to know why truffles are so expensive.
Sourcing them is not the easiest from what I understand.
Okay.
So, a lot of times the cost of something just comes from the way you have to source them.
And I heard they use pigs to actually find.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they use pigs to find the truffle.
Oh, really?
We want to
now
go
we
back
can get
to
into
this loaded question. Nick just gave you a loaded question.
Because I want to talk about these mushrooms.
He's asking you about the mushrooms.
And the psychedelics.
Oh man, yeah, I'm a big
reaching higher planes.
Yeah, I'm a big advocate for psychedelics. I started dabbling in 2020, and during the pandemic, you know, I had nothing going on, and I was like, you know, we went to go places. I had a whole month where we wasn't, we weren't going anywhere.
He went to travel without moving,
and little did I know, because I smoke weed, and I'm like, man, I smoke weed, but weed sometimes can cause a little anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I had to. Fight that first. I'm like, because I started worrying about what was going on the next day, and I'm like, the next day is not even here. So I really started getting my mind in that mode of being more present. And then, I ended up coming across some mushrooms through a friend of mine, and I started asking him about them, and he had been doing them for a while. And I started doing my research, and then one day, man, during the pandemic, I had nothing going on, and a group of us just was like, you know what, let's just doing, man, and we just dived into the 3.5, and it was just like an awakening happened.
Now, do you gotta lock yourself in a room?
I was like, hell no.
You have to lock down, so you don't gotta.
You ain't gotta lock yourself down. You want to make sure your space is clear. You want to make sure that you're in an environment with people. If you're not doing it by yourself,
people that you love and trust.
Yeah. You don't necessarily even have to be knowing the person forever. You know what I'm saying? Just people that you feel the vibe. That's a good vibration, a good energy around.
Did you ever cook with them?
I don't typically cook with them because
typically. So you have cooked with them before?
I brew them in tea, and
tea.
I never cooked with them, honestly. Like, I've never just sauteed some mushrooms and just because taking mushrooms is a sacred thing. You know what I'm saying? So I take them with intention. I write my intentions down, and I take them. I don't like to.
Now, when you say
eat a lot of
intention,
food.
With anything, intention, what are you actually saying?
Setting my intentions on what I want to get from the teacher. You know what I'm saying? What am I looking to accomplish in life and things like that? What do I need clarity on? What there might be something in my life where I feel like, I need to get better at. So I'm setting the intention that I want to, really start focusing on this and get better at this. And I write all that stuff down, and that's when I do write.
Okay.
That's what I do write. And also, water holds memory as well. So I have different things that I do with water, and I write, with that as well. So, but yeah, man, I set my intentions, and then I go for the ride. And, sometimes I've done, larger amounts, and, I microdose as well. So microdose is really good.
Now, what's microdose?
Microdose is just taking a small amount, 0.5, to a gram.
Okay.
You're just taking a small amount, and, you can go about your day.
And how much would you actually put into a tea?
It depends on how much you, it depends. It depends. If you want to do just a small microdose, a lot of times what I do is I take a lemon and I squeeze the lemon over the mushroom to extract the psilocybin faster, because the citrus makes it extracts the psilocybin, and then I pour.
What is psilocybin?
Psilocybin is actually the what's in the mushroom that actually causes the neurons in your brain to rewire themselves. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, I do my tea, and I might just drink my tea in a little small microdose.
Okay. Yeah. Now, you drink it or you sip it?
It depends on how hot it is. But I typically sip it fast, what I'm saying, just to kind of get ahead and drink it and get going, you know what I'm saying?
So did he answer all your microdose questions?
Yeah, I just wanted to know. I'm curious.
Have you microdosed before?
No, I haven't. And
what you waiting on?
Hey, let me start off with some marijuana products first. I got to take baby steps. Now, do you
well, marijuana is not the same as people get that misconstrued. It's not like, so the high that you get from marijuana is not the high that you get from doing mushrooms. The high that you get from doing mushrooms is a higher state of consciousness.
Yeah, I see it every day.
I feel like weed.
Smiling. I was over there like, yeah.
Don't throw me under the bus.
Because you microdose, right?
Never.
Okay.
Never.
All right. So I got to get you two guys.
Hey.
I got to get you two guys on this vibrational train that I'm on.
Put me in a seatbelt for that one.
But no, it's different, man. It's not like doing weed. Actually, mushrooms actually help with curing. Let me not say cure, right? Because we don't want to use that word. but it actually really helps with anxiety.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, doing mushrooms and psychedelics, it just really just takes that veil off. You know, you be able to see things for what it is.
Dr. Sebi spoke on this. Dr. Sebi actually recommended, you know, mushrooms.
Yeah. I mean, they're tools. They're tools of consciousness. They're, you know, mushrooms is the oldest living organism on the face of the planet, you know, and God put them here for us to, you know, I mean, we can get all different type of answers that we need, you know, in life. And they're beautiful species.
Now, is that what you were talking about yesterday? Something about it takes the mucus?
Yeah. That's another health benefit that's mushrooms do. They break up the mucus in your brain.
Okay.
Yeah. I learned that from Gary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Sebi's assistant, Gary.
Yeah.
Gary helped me a lot. Me and Gary stay on the phone.
Yeah, man. Gary's an amazing person.
I talk to him till he falls asleep. And I say, Gary, go to sleep, man. So we're good. We covered everything.
No, there's one more thing.
Nick's ready to microdose. Ready to microdose right now, Nick. Right?
We didn't cover the cooking with marijuana.
Yeah, I'm not a big. I've done it. You know, I've done some events, some private dinners with.
I don't want no parts of that.
Yeah,
I had bad experiences. I don't want.
That's because they said take a little piece of the cookie. You ate the whole cookie.
I don't want. You know, I'm good on that experience.
To each his own with that one. You know, some people see a lot of benefits from it. Me personally, I don't. You know, my liver doesn't like to break it down. You know what I'm saying? It just makes me feel so lethargic the next day, and I'm just like, nah, because you can't really once it gets in your bloodstream, you really can't control, you know, can't control it at that point, you know. So I'm just not a big fan of it. I can cook with it, you know what I mean.
Okay.
If a person needed it, you know, I could make it happen, but you know, I'm just not a big fan of it. It's not something I promote.
So you'll just stick to the tea.
Yeah, I just shroom tea, just shroom tea. Yeah.
Okay, so we covered food. Aliens,
water.
mushrooms.
Did we talk about water?
Yeah, he spoke about water.
I briefly spoke about it. But you know, water holds memory. We're 70% water. You know what I'm saying? So there's some things that you can do. You know, I'm really big into you know, manifestation, because this world is nothing but manifestation. You know, we're all the same. God created us all the same, and whether you know, God, Allah, universe, whatever the source, we're all the same.
The Anunnaki.
We're 70% water. We're 70% water. And so, you know, water holds memory. So there's some things that you can do. You know, you can literally write down, you know, things on paper and place it on your cup, and you can drink it. You know what I'm saying? This might sound weird to people.
It's not weird.
That don't understand frequency and how powerful our words are, and vibration, and what the power of water, but is true. It's really true. So yeah, that's why it's important to make sure you're careful on what you're listening to, you know, what you're ingesting, you know, from the people that you're around, because like literally it affects the frequency in your body and your DNA, you know what I'm saying, and all of the trillions of cells in your body. So yeah.
Well, we wish you nothing but positive energy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Fill them up with it.
Yeah, you're an incredible guy, man.
Thanks, man.
And I'm so glad.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're friends, and
we're family
episode,
now.
Right?
We're family
yeah,
now.
We're family.
We're family now,
baby. A couple times. It's been another successful episode of All the Way Around, and until next time.
Bang, hold that.